What's crack-a-lackin'? Welcome in to My Mind is a Weapon Fantasy Football Show.
What's crack-a-lackin'? Welcome into another episode of My Mind is a Weapon Fantasy Football Podcast. I am your host, Sleaze. Sorry, guys, dealing with pneumonia. If we get through it, I'll be coughing through it, but I'm going to try and grind through it for you guys. Today's episode, we are going to grind into my 5 smash start running backs and what we're looking for. We stay outside the superstar names to not make it cheesy. We're looking for a 12-point floor with 20-plus point upside. I'm going to give you a ton of defense statistics, some injuries, some game scripts, some weather of why I like these players this week. If you guys are new in here, make sure you tap that thumbs up, hit that subscription, turn that bell on. It helps me out a ton. And I also like to look back and show you my calls from last week. So if you guys are new in here, I like to be transparent, so I'm not just pumping out content. I like to show you how it looks as well. So this is my Twitter. If you guys want to follow it, same thing. I think we're almost at like 30,000 there, so greatly appreciated there as well. And what I'm looking for is QBs for 20 points, running backs and wide receivers, 12-point floors, 20-point TD upside, and tight ends, 10-point floor, 15-point TD upside for tight ends. A lot harder there, so I lower the points there. We hit all 3 quarterbacks last week over 20. Jordan Love, Sam Darnold. Everyone questioned me on Sam Darnold. That's why you subscribe to your boy Jared Goff. Running backs, Kyron Williams, Chase Brown, RJ Harvey, they hit. Missed on Quinshon Judkins, Kenneth Walker. I'm done taking that bait. Wide receivers, I missed on Chris Olave. BTJ was 3 points off. Adonai Mitchell lost his quarterback on the first drive, so he missed. Jameson Williams, Christian Watson hit. And then perfection. That's my first perfect week on tight end. Tight ends are so hard not using the superstars. Hit on Kincaid, Pitts, and Dallas Goedert. It was a great 70% week before the playoffs. I'm still chasing that 100% week. It is damn hard. Let's do it right here in the fantasy football playoffs here. Now, if you guys haven't already checked out the Guys FF Premium Discord or drafters.com, the sponsors, both those links are up in the description of the video and pinned in the comments if you want to talk fantasy football with us 24/7 off stream. Now, let's dive into my 5 smash start running backs for the opening round of the Week 15 fantasy football playoffs. Starting off with running back number 1, it is going to be Travis Etienne of the Jacksonville Jaguars, 9-4, playoff hopes intact. Going to get the New York Jets, going to end up 10-4 at Duval in this game. 41.5 over under. Jacksonville is favored by 12.5. And why you have to love Etienne even more than the regular Etienne you got from the season? Well, you just had Tootin fumble the ball. Liam Cohen got pissed. Then Tootin ended up with a concussion. Yeah, he might be out there this week. But now it's getting down to that crunch playoff time where you want to lean on your veteran. And yeah, I'm going to say he's a veteran, even though he's at age 26 and he's been in the league for 4 years. So he, qualifies for that criteria. But what the interesting thing is here is you just got Etienne at RB1 snap share usage. The most on the entire season just came in week 14 at 72%, which is absolutely phenomenal of what you want. Now, you're going to get the New York Jets defense. And what has happened with them? They traded away Sauce Gardner, got 2 first-round picks for that with Adonai Mitchell, traded away Quinnen Williams, got another first pick. That's their DT run stopper that has elevated the Cowboys' run D to a top 10 run D. Those are pieces that they're missing that are getting them killed, which is why they rank 32nd over the last 4 weeks. That is dead last versus the running back, giving up 36.08 yards, 520 yards on the ground, about 130-yard average on the ground. Guys, 9 rushing touchdowns in 4 weeks. That is over 2+ touchdowns a game. Then they've given up 163 in the air and a touchdown through the air. That's 10 total TDs in 4 games. If Travis Etienne is not a top 5 running back and you're not starting him this week, I do not know what to tell you. This is an absolute smash matchup for Travis Etienne, and he's going to put people into the semifinals of the fantasy football playoffs. Running back number 2 that is going to smash this week, just like Etienne, I'm starting both these guys no matter what, is going to be Woody Marks. USC Trojan rookie is getting his shot here. And I know it's not great, right? Because we know the Texans' offensive line is not one of the best. But they're making it work. And their defense gives him so many opportunities that the volume that he sees is relevant. And this defense is about to get the Arizona Cardinals, meaning the offense is going to get the Arizona Cardinals at the same time. And the Arizona Cardinals versus the running back over the past 4 weeks rank 30th. That's 33.6 points per game, 531 yards on the ground, 120 per game there. They've also given up, guys, 6 rushing touchdowns and 154 yards through the air and 2 touchdowns through the air. That's 8 touchdowns through 4 games. That's 2 touchdowns a game. That's about 200 yards a game they're giving up to the running back position. And now you got Nick Chubb going down with the injury. And what happened when Chubb went down? He just had 29 touches last week versus KC. And KC's a very tough matchup versus the running back. It is. That's why he had, 2.62 yards per carry and 68 yards on 26 touches. Tough matchup. But you got to look at it as he's had 20 touches the week before that. He's had 17 touches the week before that. 29 touches last week when Chubb went down. He's going to get the full workload against one of the worst run Ds this week, and their defense is going to give them opportunities galore versus Jacoby Brissett. Even though I know Brissett's been balling out 20 points every single game he's played, this defense is a different animal, and Woody Marks is one of my favorite plays, and I also like him for an anytime touchdown bet. Gamble responsibly. Running back number 3 that's going to rip this week is going to be Derrick the King Henry versus the Cincinnati Bengals, and I don't know, man, Lamar Jackson, man, they just might need to switch the entire game plan, and let's just make it a King Henry 70% snap share run game. And Keaton Mitchell just went down as well, right? But he's still only getting 50 to 40% snaps, like they're saving him for something. This is your season on the line. It is time to feed the beast. Winter is here. To quote Game of Thrones, it is big boy Derrick Henry running time. And even if you look at the last game versus Cincinnati, right, which was 2 weeks ago, he put up 17.4 points, 10 carries for 60 yards and a touchdown, 1 reception for 44 yards, which is crazy for him to get a 44-yard reception. But that's not great numbers. I want to see 20 touches here. Like, what are we doing? Let's give this guy everything we can because the Cincinnati Bengals cannot stop the run. They rank 24th over the past 4 weeks, giving up 25 points, 373 on the ground, 2 touchdowns, 207 through the air, 600 total yards in 4 games. That's a 150-yard average. Give the big boy the ball. We know Lamar Jackson is struggling, even though, he kind of had a little bit of a bounce back game there because he couldn't be any worse than the 3 games he had before. So, and I know I'd say likely got robbed at the end, but your season is on the line here. The Bengals just lost. Their season is over. They know that. They want to ruin yours. The way you survive that is controlling the clock, keeping Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase off the field. We don't know if T. Higgins is going to be out there. Give the ball to the animal. I want a 20-plus point game here from King Henry. Running back number 4, and this one, again, is going to hinge on Alvin Kamara, but as of right now, hasn't practiced, and they say that his status for Week 15 is unknown, right? Why would they even rush this guy back? If you guys have been in here, I've been talking about this for a couple weeks now. The Saints are 3-10. They're throwing out Tyler Shuck. They trade away Rashid Shaheed. They're trading away defensive pieces to build for the future, which is smart. I don't know if they want to call Tyler Shuck the future, but he hasn't been that bad. Still, why are we going to run out 31-year-old Alvin Kamara? If they do, shame on me. But I'm going to go with Devin Neal as the starting running back here again this week versus the Carolina Panthers at home. And you're looking at a game that's 40.5 over/under. Carolina only favored by 2.5 when they're 7-6 versus 3-10 is also wild to me. But what we've seen since Alvin Kamara has gone down, and if you watch Devin Neal at Kansas, very good running back. He went late in the draft because this class was so deep at running back that it was like you're getting a 5th-round running back that usually you'd get in the 3rd round. So the past 3 weeks, he's been playing 70+% snap share. That's RB1 usage. He's been averaging 12.5 points over that span. He's also had, last week, 20 touches. That is a phenomenal number for a running back that you probably got off the waiver wire. You're going to get the Carolina Panthers run D. Over the past 4 weeks, the Panthers run D ranks 29th. That's 4th worst. 33.3 points per game. 400 yards on the ground. That's just rushing, so 100 yards a game there. 6 rushing touchdowns allowed, so that's 1.5 rushing touchdowns a game over that span. 102 yards through the air as well. So you're looking at about 130 yards per game with a 1.5 touchdown average per game. And you're going to give me 20 touches to Devin Neal. This is going to be a smash play 100%. Again, it just depends on how it goes with Alvin Kamara, because if Alvin Kamara is back out there, obviously I'm not going to put Devin Neal onto my smash because we'll be looking probably at a split. Running back number 5, and I know it's going to be a little riskier here because you're going to throw at me that Kyle Manunjai has worked his way in. And yes, Kyle Manunjai has. It's been like 44 carries to 48 carries between the two over the past 3 weeks, leading Manunjai's side because he got hot in the New Orleans Saints game and they rode the hot hand a little more to give him more touch, or in the Philly game, sorry. So what I'm looking at here with DeAndre Swift, and he was so close to breaking one last week, man. He got like shoestring twice, right? So when you're looking at the matchup here, you're going to get the Cleveland Browns. And usually You're going to think from the beginning of the season that the Cleveland Browns are the number one defense versus the run. They had the least yards allowed, least touchdowns allowed, least yards per carry. All of that was true at the beginning of the season. Now we're heading down towards the end of the season here. The Cleveland Browns run D has fallen off a cliff. Yes, they still have Myles Garrett, the absolute monster that's going to break the sack record this year. Deserves it. First ballot Hall of Famer. I get all that. You're getting the Browns now that rank 28th. They give up 30 points a game to the running back here. 445 yards on the ground over the past 4 games. That's 115 average, 112 average, 209 through the air. That's the number we're looking for. That is third worst in the NFL over that span. We know DeAndre Swift. Manunjai does catch some balls out the backfield as well, but I'm going to go with DeAndre Swift's the better pass catching back, as seen by Manunjai's only had 2 receptions in the past couple weeks, and Swift has been targeted 7 times. So a little different there. And you have Rome Odunze out as well. Now, the other thing you have to look at in this game here is Ben Johnson and what he is doing with this 12, 13 man introduced personnel with 3 tight ends is phenomenal. So last week, they lost the game to Green Bay. I get that. He missed DJ Moore in the end zone. Caleb Williams could have sent it to OT 100%. But what's gone unnoticed from a lot of people is that, dude, not a running back had ran for like 50 yards or 50 plus single-handedly on the Green Bay Packers. And DeAndre Swift and Manunjai did it because the system that Ben Johnson has running here. I mean, the offensive line, the way they move people, Colston Loveland blocking, Cole Kmet blocking, it's looked very, very well here. So now you're getting a defense that's not the Green Bay Packers, which is a top defense, in a game that is going to be, 9 degrees, I think I read it was. Let me pull it up as we're going through it here. It's at 4 degrees now. It's going to be a freezing tundra, ground and pound game here. Yeah, Shadur Sanders looked good in the snow in Cleveland last week. That's versus the Titans. This is a different team than the Bears. So it's going to be a different kind of game script. And I absolutely love DeAndre Swift, and I think people are way too low on him, and I think he's going to smash and pop a big one this week. Thanks for rocking with me. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. That is my 5 smash start running backs that you should 100% have in your rosters in week 15 of the fantasy football playoffs. And remember, the Devin Neal one is going to come down to Alvin Kamara as well. So we got to wait and see on that, but I'm pretty sure he's not going to be out there. Now, remember, guys, if you have any comments, questions, this is the fantasy football playoffs week. I say I try to answer all of them. Sometimes you guys bombard me with so many, which is amazing. That's what you want as a content creator, is questions popping in like crazy. This is the playoff week. I will get to every single question you guys have, regardless of if it pertains to the video or not. And if you haven't already on your way out, make sure you tap that thumbs up, hit that subscription button, ding, turn that bell on so you know when I'm live. I will live Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday for the recap when it's all over. And then we run it all back for week 16. And I'm going to try and pump out everything I can in week 16 because I am gone for 2 weeks for our family vacation into Iowa through the new year. So, but I will do shorts and stuff, but I just won't be at my PC or at home, obviously. So we'll see how that works, but I'll get it all out to you guys. And again, if you haven't checked out the sponsor, drafters.com, or the guys FF Premium Discord, both those are linked in the description of the video. That's it for me in this episode. My next one will be my wide receiver smash starts. I don't know if I get to it tonight. We'll see how it goes, but I hope I get it out tonight. If not, I'll get it tomorrow, and then I'll do all my start sits for tomorrow as well. That's it for me, man. I hope you guys enjoyed. Sleazebomb out. I'll catch you in the next one.